Oh, it's extremely early, and we're fixing to get ready to go to the airport and pack up so we can go jump on the pipeline. So let's get some coffee going. Everything is packed. Fixing to go to the airport, head down, start pre-flighting the plane. I know it's a little dark, so hopefully y'all can see me okay. But yeah, let's start our drive. You know, part of being a pipeline pilot, we try to be up over the line pretty early, and if we can get to the plane and get it out and start making our way and deadheading towards, like, you know, our start point, usually our day goes by a little quicker. But on days like this where it's storming and raining and the visibility's already down and it's still kind of dark, I don't mind taking our time a little bit better. So we ended up having a slight change of plans. Had a tire low and I forgot to get gas last night, so extra stop. All right, we're back on our way again. You ever just have one of those mornings where you wake up and you're like, it'll work out, and then it's just kind of one thing after another? Well, luckily the gas station had my flavor, and yeah, coffee replacement engage. Well, it was starting to look up a little bit, and then it got really dark, so we got another front coming through. So looks like old Ryan's gonna be sitting at the hangar for a little while and see if this will pass. Here's a little bit of a better look. It got very dark. Alright. Why can't it look like that over there? But I have to go that way. It's always the way I have to go. Well, we made it out here to the hangar. We were thinking that we were gonna get to go today. It's still a maybe. We got one more storm. We came from this direction, which is starting to clear up pretty good. And for those that don't know, when you're flying pipeline, you know, you're so low to the ground, and we have waivers to be down to 200 AGL. You know, even if we have a low cloud ceiling, we still can get up as long as we have good visibility underneath. And we were hoping that we were gonna have this back here. And this is off to my east. I know y'all don't have any type of orientation to what you're looking at, but this is off to my east. And then if we swing around this way, not so great. And we're heading that way. And you can just see that was lightning right behind me. So looks like it's gonna be a little while longer. We're gonna go ahead and load the plane up and keep drinking our monster and see if we can't find a gap somewhere to get out of here. Well, yeah, let's go. Our chariot for the day. Just can't win for losing. And we're gonna go ahead and prep and pre-flight and get everything else taken care of, and then we'll be back with you. So, first official day flying on this new line is hasn't gotten off to a great start. We're gonna keep waiting, and we will try again in about an hour.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to our first trip with just myself. My name is Ryan. I am a full-time pipeline pilot, and as you can probably see outside, it is a little nasty out here right now. But we're going to try to go out to the west and get around some of this stuff. And we got kind of a long deadhead today, so we're going to be heading out to the panhandle of Texas and then heading up towards Kansas. So we'll leave y'all here for right now, and we're going to go down and get a run-up done and kind of check in on what's all coming up towards us, and then we'll be heading out west, so we'll check in with y'all soon. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We are right in the middle of some really soupy weather, as you can see out of our left wing here. And we are watching the storms, watching clouds, trying to watch towers. If you're thinking about becoming a pipeline pilot to build time, or for just a really fun job that lets you do some really crazy low to the ground stuff like this, then you definitely have to kind of keep in mind, you know, with weather, and you know, you don't get to do maybe everything that you wanted to do for a certain day, and you know, like today our route's going to be cut somewhat short just because of the weather that we have moving in today. You always have to stay vigilant out here. You always have to just kind of be on full alert all the time. There's a lot of wind towers around Oklahoma, and there's a lot of cell phone towers and buildings and cities, and we saw a small gap in the storm here, and we tried to come out westbound to get to the back side of this front, and it's little by little starting to come up, and the clouds are starting to rise up for us a little bit. You know, we're up to about 600 AGL now. We were kind of down there in the 250, 260 range for quite a while, and you know, this will definitely sharpen your stick and rudder skills as far as weaving in and out of the things that you need to weave in and out of. But I just kind of wanted to turn on the cameras now that we have a little bit more lax clouds and weather, and give y'all an update on how we're doing. We had to divert quite a far bit north because we had the clouds were too low to clear some of the taller wind towers out towards just to the west side of Weatherford, Oklahoma, right along I-40. And you know, we fly IFR out here. I fly roads. You know, towers generally tend not to be right over the roads. But we try to stick pretty close to what we can see without impeding anybody. And hopefully here pretty soon we can get back over to our navigational track today and keep going. Checking the weather for out towards the Texas Panhandle. It looks quite a bit higher ceilings over there and a little less windy, and just kind of overall, you know, a little bit nicer flying weather, especially when we actually jump on the pipeline and actually start observing. Anyway, guys, we're going to check out of our left wing here, and we're going to see if we have any towers coming up. I'm not seeing anything popping up on my radar here as far as storm cells to the south of us, and I'm not seeing anything for towers except off our right wing, which I have to apologize. I don't have a camera out that wing today. We're working with 2 GoPros instead of 3. We're going to continue on getting our ground track back to where we want it, and then we're going to keep on heading back to our filed flight plan here. And we'll check in with y'all in a little bit once we start the pipeline, and we can kind of walk you guys through what we do and what we look for, and you know, kind of the traveling life on what to expect, and which I can give you a little hint. It's always expect the unexpected here, especially with this storm season. You just never know. So guys, hopefully we get out of the soup soon. Be sure to stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have a little bit of better scenery for you, a little bit more light to look at, and you know, we'll be up in the Texas, Kansas area, and then back down to Oklahoma City, and we'll be low the whole time, so we should have a lot of good views later. And while you're sticking around, waiting for me to get into better weather, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future content. We're going to be doing a lot of cross-country low flying. We have some really pretty areas that we go to, really get down to the landscape, and it's just a really, really pretty thing to see. I don't want you guys to miss out. All right. We're going to go ahead and kill these, and we'll see you back soon. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be making a small stop here at Higgins County, Texas, because I have got to pee, and I don't want to hold it once we get on the line here in about 30 minutes or so. Higgins County, pipeline 70228, left base 18, full stop, Higgins. And I just kind of figured we'd go in here and check out this little middle of nowhere airport together, although I don't really think there's going to be just a whole lot to check out, unfortunately. Actually, there is nothing here to check out, but that's okay. You still get to come along on an adventure in some place I've never been to before, so. Higgins County, pipeline 70228, final 18, full stop, Higgins. It looks like they got about 3,600 feet down here, so it should be plenty of room for us now that we're not at just 100% at max capacity, since we do have extended range tanks on the pipeline plane. Lets us stay out a little bit longer without having to come down and make stops, since fuel stops are very time costly. We try not to stop unless we absolutely have to. I don't know if y'all be able to hear the train horn below me or not. Very, very bumpy and very windy now that we're out here in open air. There's a lot of thermals behind this storm and a whole bunch of wind on the trailing edge of this thing, so this one might not look pretty, but we'll get her down. Oh, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Alright, we're going to try to slow her up here a little bit and see if we can't make this exit. The biggest thing at this airport is the windsock. So if you're ever in Higgins County, make sure you get you a good view of the random windsock. That is the size of a metal building. Alright, everybody, we'll be back with you whenever, probably turn the cameras on back pretty close to the pipeline. That way we can get the battery and the memory card data saved for the actual pipeline, since that's where the fun starts. But until then, we'll see y'all in a little bit.
So we just got here to Higgins County Airport, and as you can see, there's just not a whole lot out here. We're gonna check our fuel and then stop in the restroom if there is one. If not, we'll find a bush, and then we'll be continuing on westbound. I don't know if y'all can see just how big that windsock thing is out there, but holy cow, it is huge. It's about the size of this 172. Anyways, we're loading back up. See you back in the air.
Alright, welcome back, everybody. We are jumping on the line here in Texas. We're gonna go have some fun now. Now that we're actually low and fast flying here. And you get to come along on an adventure with us as we follow this line up. And yeah. As you can see, the day cleared up for us quite a bit. It's actually fairly nice now. It's not near as bad as it was earlier, because it was very stout weather earlier. But that's okay, because we're going to be on the line now. And we'll get ourselves oriented with the pipeline here. And we'll follow the scar. Now for anybody that is curious, this is a very involved kind of flying. We're constantly watching for towers, we're watching for other obstacles. You know, we've got a lot of things that can pop up on us when you're low and fast and you don't really know your area if it's your first time flying a specific line. You know, a lot can happen in a really short amount of time. And when it's really windy like this today, it's even worse. Give us a little look back and we'll jump back on here. Now a lot of these points are just so tight on where the radius of your turns are. You know, sometimes you have to, sometimes you really have to be careful with what you're doing. So it's very involved. It's not terrible. I mean, you're working. You're definitely paying attention to a lot of things going on. So there's always something to do. There's always, always something to report, or there's always something to look at. You're always constantly having to try to find, any issues on the line, if you have any leaks or anybody digging towards the line. It's very involved with what we do. So, stick and rudder skills are very important, yes, but it's also not technically the job. The job is technically, working with the clients and reporting any issues on the pipeline. And when you're this low, the pilot stuff just kind of almost has to be on autopilot, no pun intended. But luckily today we're out here in the Panhandle and we don't just have a whole lot. We do have quite a bit of wind towers coming up. But we got our scar across the ground right here that we're watching, and we're just kind of letting the wind blow us sideways a little bit, just kind of keeping an eye on it. If we see anything that pops up, we'll report it. Hopefully all is well for these guys, though. Currently at about 300 feet or so. Once we pass these towers, we might get a little bit closer and a little bit lower. But right now, though, we're getting blown around pretty good, and we want to keep our eyes down and up at the same time, so it's quite involved. have any questions about a career in aviation, we have a pilot talk kind of a podcast. I guess it'd be kind of a video podcast, yeah. Where we interview student pilots and professional pilots and private pilots, and a lot of your questions can be answered, and if they're not being answered, please let us know. Like I said, we always like to try to put a thing in the comments down below, or if you have anything going on that you kind of want to know about, or if you have any questions. Actually, a pretty decent view. We're down here with the wind farms right now. Just tracking our line. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have. If you don't have any questions and you just enjoy the low, crazy flying scenery, then just make sure your seatbelts are buckled and enjoy the ride. It is a little bumpy today. Overall, a pretty good day to fly, though. Now, around this area, the problem with the planes, while you've got a bunch of real open, nice spaces, you're so low, and there's a lot of places to land, which is a good thing. However, that also can be a bad thing if you need help. Now you're about to get a pretty cool shot here. We're going to be going right around the base of a wind turbine here. And we're just looking for our markers, and yeah, we got markers down there. Just following the pipe. And we always try to make sure that we keep good visual contact. Sometimes you have to go around towers. It is what it is, you know, safety's got to come first out here. So we're just watching the markers and watching the pipeline. And the thermals are pushing us up quite a bit, so we'll just take a little bit of power out here and let her come back down real nice and easy. And we've got our pipeline going right in between these two, and we might get a little turbulence right behind these wind towers, guys, so just, just brace yourselves. Alright, I think we're clear of that wind turbine. We'll dive back onto the line here. Another pretty good look. Lots of turbulence coming out of the back of that thing today. And we're right back in line with our SCAR here. And if you're just tuning in here, and you're panicking because you're seeing all this stuff, as a flight instructor, I always try to teach my students, you know, the more altitude we can keep between us and everything else, the better, right? Well, unfortunately, if we try to cruise up that high, flying the pipe, we'll miss a lot of stuff. So we can't always do that even if we want to. Unfortunately, the pipe that we're tracking right now is going to go right in between a whole bunch of wind turbines. We're going to make sure that we can climb nice and safely over them. We're right over our right-of-way right now. You can see the SCAR right below our left wing camera there. And we're just going to keep on climbing. Keep on our right-of-way, looking good, looking good. And we'll bring it back around here. And we'll continue on with our line. We're right over the wind turbines now. Looking down at our line. We're gonna keep following the scar. And when we get past this little wind turbine farm, we'll drop right back down and we'll go back at it. Getting a lot of bumps from the turbulence off the fan blades, but that's alright. We're almost past it now. Anyway guys, there's gonna be a whole lot of pipeline to fly today. So I'll give y'all a little break and we'll check back in when we get a little further north up towards Kansas. We're gonna start doing a whole lot of these, I think. And we're clear of the wind farms, we'll come on back down, and I think that's where we're gonna leave y'all for a moment. And we will be back with y'all shortly. See you in a bit. Well, unfortunately guys, I was hoping I was gonna get to bring you some low-level city flying here, but we got socked in hard just west of Pratt, Kansas. And now there's tornado watches and tornado warnings going up all over the place between Oklahoma City and Pratt. So we are going to we're gonna run from it. We tried to call the local FBO to see if they had any hangars available for us to bunker down in, and it was just on-ramp parking only. So we're gonna play it safe, and we're gonna head on back to home base, about an hour and a half or so. And we'll be flying away from all the nasty. So hopefully we'll get back there with plenty of time to kind of get out of the nasty and make it back to El Reno, Oklahoma, safe and sound, and live to fly another day. So as of right now, we are basically just cross country. It's not the progress we wanted today. We got about half of our main objective done. We were gonna do a couple of lines that were attached to our main line, and it just didn't work out like we wanted it to. But you know, such is life, and definitely such is aviation. You know, it's not worth taking a risk and trying to fly with low cloud ceilings in an unfamiliar area and have a tower that's not on the map sneak up on you. You know, so we're gonna play it safe. We're gonna head back. Just a reminder, our social medias are going to be listed down in the description. Definitely go check those out. We'd love to talk to you. Be a good chance to keep up with our day-to-day when we don't have a chance to come out and shoot video. And we'll try to, now that we've got kind of everything settled with camera equipment and things like that, we'll start bringing you quite a bit more. There's a couple of eagles up here that just about became plain food. We're gonna try to keep the noisemaker clean up there. And yeah guys, so be sure to check those out. Be sure to subscribe. I know today was, you know, you got a little bit of the action, you know, earlier this morning. You know, after we waited out the storms and we finally got to get up in the air and, you know, go enjoy ourselves for a little while and go do a little bit of weaving. Made quite a few observations on the pipeline today. Got the pipeline guys some good information to go look at. And, yeah, just gonna head back and bunker the plane down all good and safe so she's in good shape, and do a post-flight, make sure that she's ready to rock for the next day before we come out and pre-flight her. Supposed to have a lot of really bad weather this week. I think Friday is supposed to be really our only chance at normalcy. I know we've got a whole bunch of stuff kind of coming, so hopefully we'll get our lines done, and we'll get to bring you some more footage. It really is pretty cool to see. You know, even flying the plane and being used to flying pipeline, you know, getting to be down real far and weave in and out of stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely hazardous, but it's just a ton of fun, guys, and we hope to share that with you before too long. If I wasn't in a Cessna, I'd probably be trying to climb above all this, but yep, I can't seem to find me a hole big enough for the slow climb rate to make it, so we're just gonna cruise at our legal limits above the ground and below the clouds, and we'll pick this back up when we're coming back into El Reno, and hopefully we'll have us a good little safe landing, and then we'll taxi it back, and we'll kind of do a debrief. And this is Pixels and Planes. I don't want everybody here to think we're all just about aircraft. We absolutely have had a newfound passion for videography and photography. I've been really blessed with good close friends that are professionals in this world, and the learning experience has just been so much fun. I think I'm just as addicted to that Sony camera as I am to this airplane. So we definitely want to be bringing you, our setups and our reviews and how we grow as a channel. On top of getting to come out here and getting to put it to work, we don't have the A7S III with us today. It was kind of one of those things where we knew the weather was going to be bad, and we haven't quite figured out how we're going to deploy it in the aircraft yet. Usually we run 3 GoPro Hero 10 Blacks. It worked out pretty good for the last one. We'd like to start using our new fancier stuff for the interviews, and some B-roll for you guys. So you're more than welcome to join us for our journey along not only learning every day as a pilot, but learning how to capture it. So, like I said, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Go follow us on our social medias. We have a lot of stuff in the works, and it's just going to be a really good time, guys. You're more than welcome to come learn along with me. If you're learning how to fly, if you're learning how to take pictures, if you're learning how to shoot video and edit, the whole 9 yards, guys. We're all about everything here. And we just want to have a good time with y'all. So, it's getting a little darker on the horizon. I'm going to start paying a little more attention to what's coming up in front of me on my map here. So I will bid you guys adieu, and we'll pick it back up. Hopefully everything is good and safe here in about an hour and a half. Back in El Reno, Oklahoma, when we come into land. Now, welcome back, everybody. So there has definitely been a development. We are now running from a massive storm. I don't know how well this camera will pick this up on the iPad, but my wing cam here, we can switch over to that. Take a look at this monster that's right here next to us. So we're running south for right now, and we're gonna keep running south, trying to go around the tail end of this thing unless it backfills and we get stuck, which very well could happen. And yeah, so we'll keep y'all updated. So far, it's been an interesting day. Yeah, pushing on. Talk soon, y'all. What's up, everybody? We are about 12 minutes from El Reno. We have a really big storm to our left, and we have one coming up behind us to our right. So we're kind of pinched. So we're doing what we can to make it back today. Hopefully it'll be a smooth landing at 35 knots. Luckily for us, it's straight up the gut, straight down the runway. So we'll see how bad this goes. Not used to the high wing stuff very much anymore, so these tend to be a little bit more floaty. We're down here at about 1,000 AGL. Getting our butts kicked if you can't tell. El Reno traffic, pipeline 228, 17 to the northwest, 2,300 feet inbound for 17 full stop El Reno. I don't know if the camera will pick that huge anvil right there up, but we're in the process of trying to get away from it by at least 20 miles, and we're close. We're about 18 miles from it right now, so we're working on it. I appreciate you guys riding along with me today. It's been an interesting few 5.5 hours in the air so far. Didn't get near as much done as we wanted to, and then had to take the long way home. But like I said earlier, that's aviation, you know. It is what it is. I'll tell you one thing, no, getting bounced around in this plane, this pivot case has been an absolute blessing. Like, it's just been absolutely crazy. It's making sure that my Apple Pencil's not flying all over the cockpit while I'm trying to keep it straight. It's got a quick detach QD mount, kind of a slider on the back, which is absolutely incredible. Makes it for easy of getting in and out of these things, because these are, you know, smaller aircraft. So as of right now, guys, we're 13 nautical miles away. Doing what we can. Southwest Airlines descending upon us at the moment. Probably trying to get everybody into Will Rogers before things get worse. Don't blame him. Have any of you had any kind of wild, crazy, right on the bleeding edge of a storm front cockpit stories? I'd love to hear about them. Any pipeliners that are out there watching right now, or ex-pipeline guys that have gone to the airlines or anything, you know, I'd love to hear some of your crazy pipeline stories. If you want to shoot me a message or leave me a comment down there, I'm sure we could have quite a few fun discussions about some of the craziness that goes on up here. And just a reminder, if you're interested in becoming a pilot, we do have a pilot talk series that we interview quite a few different people in the aviation community. So far we've had a student, a private pilot. We're going to have a couple commercial pilots on, and then even some of the ATP boys, some of the big guys. And then we'll talk to some airport managers and kind of share some of the exciting stuff that's been going on in Oklahoma aviation and things like that for y'all to enjoy. If you're local to the area, I fly out of El Reno. If I see you around out there, come up, say hi. I'd love to sit and chat with y'all, or if y'all go at any of the fly-in events around Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, we try to make it out to as many of those as we can get to as well, so pop over, say hi. Alright, so that wind has shifted on us pretty good. I've got the airport in sight now. We're going to start getting kind of set up for our initial approach.
Seminole traffic, Cessna 63479, 10 miles to the south, inbound for landing, Seminole.
El Reno traffic, pipeline 70228 is about 9 to the west, going to be shooting a right base into 17 full stop El Reno. And even though we're tired and we're ready to get out, we've been fighting the weather all day, we still need to stay vigilant. There's a pretty good sized tower that's going to be passing right below our left wing here. Camera might pick that up. And, you know, I got to reiterate on the disclaimer here, guys. You know, being part of a pipeline company that flies aerial pipeline survey, you know, we have waivers to be down when we need to be. That is definitely not something you want to do as a private pilot and go tearing through a populated area at 200 AGL. That's there is no good reason to do it. Your phones have Zoom. Your life means more than that kind of risk, guys. The only reason that we have to get down to certain altitudes for pipeline is we have aerial markers that are extremely hard to read. And we have to get down and be able to kind of investigate on something that's going on to know if it's a reportable incident or whatever. So do not try any of these type of things unless you are waivered and authorized to do so. If you want to do stuff like this, by all means, work through your private pilot, work through your commercial pilot, build some time up, either, you know, cruising around with buddies, or, you know, a flying club, what have you, or go the route I did, become a flight instructor. and build up a few hundred hours extra, and yeah, you can come out and do some of this stuff. But alright guys, it's time for me to get a little more serious here. I gotta start prepping for this, so we're gonna start heading down to I-40 now. I've been trying to give this whole area a little bit of a wide berth so we don't fly over any densely populated areas just because we can. You know, we still want to try to play the odds and play safe. And all right, we're gonna get prepped for landing here. Landing lights are coming on. Mixture's gonna go in just a little. It's a really hot day, so I don't want to carbon off my plug, so I'll put that in just a little bit. We are coming in right at pattern altitude, so we'll need to lose just a little bit more. We'll make this a low approach so we can get it on the ground and put in before this storm behind us makes it. And then, hopefully all will be well in the world. El Reno traffic, pipeline 70228 is now 4 to the northwest. Going to be shooting a right base into 17 for a full stop, El Reno. Alright guys, now we get to turn directly into the headwind and basically just stop flying. Stop moving, I should say. Yeehaw. So we kind of made a long-term forecasting decision with what's coming through Oklahoma City for the next several hours through the night and into tomorrow morning. There's a bunch of convective stuff. There's supposed to be some tornadic activity, a lot of very, very bad convective activity through here. So we decided instead of getting stuck somewhere where there might not be airports, fuel, we called around to some of the local ones and they didn't have anything inside and we didn't want to risk the company plane, so we just made the call to come on back. Come on back and put her in our hangar. And then as soon as we get a fighting chance, we will we'll get back out and go pick up where we left off up north out of here and finish what we were assigned to do. El Reno traffic, pipeline 70228 is on a right base for 17, going to be a full stop, El Reno. And we'll lift that wing up. Final looks clear, except for a whole bunch of storms. El Reno traffic, pipeline 70228 is turning final 17, going to be a full stop, El Reno. Alright, we're going to pull a whole lot out of her because we have a ton. It's like gusting 35 right now. We'll get her slowed down a little bit, enough to at least put a little bit of flap in. There we go. And we're just floating and floating and floating and floating. Alright, so we did get a little bit of crosswind. We'll go ahead and forward slip in just a little bit, lose some of this altitude because the wind's not letting us do much. And we're clear of the power lines. We'll kick the rudders back straight and we'll bring her back in. And we're just going to go ahead and let that ground speed basically come to a complete stop. El Reno, traffic pipeline 70228's clear, active, taxiing to hangars, El Reno. Well guys, it's going to be a really windy mess going back into the hangar and getting out, so I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Remember to smash that like button if you like the kind of, you know, the format we're doing. We're trying to make it a kind of a daily thing. We're wanting to upload quite a bit, kind of take you into the life and go review some FBOs that are around the area, so any of you cross-country guys that are going across that might not be very interested in a couple might find some gems, you know. So anyways guys, for everyone at Pixels and Planes, I appreciate you all. Till next time, this is Ryan, getting out of this weather. We'll see y'all.